Hey guys, this is Alex Chamberlain, and this is my 2018 Specialized Enduro. This is actually part 3 of the build, and I just got some TRP Quadiem brakes in. I know a lot of you guessed that in the comments, so I'd imagine you guys are pretty stoked to see it on the bike. And we're gonna talk you through kind of installing them and bleeding them. I installed and bled the first one last night just to check on them and see how it went. Not as easy as Shimano, but once I get used to it, I think it will get easier. Yeah, so my first impressions are the lever feel is insane. It's like a Saint, but you don't have as much play. I don't know if you guys are used to Shimano brakes. They like start out here and they just play until they finally catch. So I was really impressed. They have a really solid feel, and they're not like a SRAM where they kind of flex to the bar after you pull them. I don't know if that makes sense. So it doesn't pull any farther than that. It actually has like a dead stop instead of like squeezing to the bar. So I'm a fan of them. They look pretty burly, polished. I like them. And then yeah, I can't wait to see how they stop on the trail. We're gonna start diving into this brake. It uses mineral oil just like a Shimano system. It doesn't have a contact adjust like a SRAM, and then all you have is this toolless reach adjust. But honestly, they feel really good, and I don't think I'd want to change the contact adjust right now. So I had to pull back this little plastic thing, and then it's an 8mm. So we backed it out enough. We're gonna spin it off, cut the line, and then get it ready for install. Actually, I probably shouldn't have shown you that because you guys are gonna complain about the tool I used, because there is a special tool for this that I do not have. It's a good thing this internal routing on the Enduro is quite easy, but we're just gonna mount the caliper so it's not all dangling around. And if you could tell, we're using an adapter, so we're gonna get some 203mm rotors on this. We're gonna get some big boys. Slow my fat ass down. We can show you how easy this cable routing is, other than the cable being all coiled up. Hose. Routed the hose on the inside of the frame, got it through here super cleanly. Then we got a snag right here. This was actually pressed into the frame, and we were trying to push the hose through, but the hose was a little thicker than the Saint, so it wasn't pushing through. So pro tip, we found out you can actually pull this out and it splits open. So you can put it around, then it's pretty snug but not too tight, and then you can pop it back in and you're good to go. But yeah, we were wrestling with that for a minute, so that's the pro tip if you guys ever have that issue. So now we're going to continue and just thread it through the frame. This is why I think Specialized is one of the easiest cable routings. You literally just push it through. There's a little carbon hose inside, and it should just come out the other end if we did everything right. So now we're gonna install the little olive. I'll probably do that off camera so you guys don't give me crap about it. But yeah, we'll cut the cable to length and install the olive. So we're gonna start bleeding these brakes. It's kind of a weird size. It's a T15. And if we had a Shimano bleed cup, it'd be very similar to a Shimano bleed. But we have some syringes that we don't really use them as syringes. So I don't understand why we're using a syringe. But basically, you're gonna have to pull the top of the syringe out, like at the top. So it's gonna have to bleed like a normal Shimano. This is what worked for me yesterday. It might not be the proper way, but it has to screw in. So air can rise and it's not a vacuum. You kind of have to pop this out, which is pulling bubbles out, which isn't necessarily good if the bleed was already decent. But you have to pop that out. And supposedly, you just flick it like a Shimano until all the air rises. I don't know, for all you guys who love modulation, this is supposed to be the king of modulation. I've never been the biggest fan. I kind of like my on-off Shimanos, but we'll see how these feel, and I don't know, I'm pretty excited. I have my friend Jake Smith who's been running them for a while, and he says they're his favorite brakes to date. So hopefully I'll have a similar experience, and I'll let you guys know down the road. I have like a week, maybe 2 weeks until I can ride a bike again. So it's not gonna be waiting that long. And you guys will probably know on Instagram first. I'll probably be on my first ride and be like, oh my god, these things are sick. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll probably get that update a little sooner than YouTube. So that was the install of the TRP Quadiem G-Spec brakes. I did this install because you guys were asking for more installs. You didn't just want to know that the parts were on there. So yeah, that was a first trial on bleeding the brakes and everything. it went well, but hopefully in the future I'll be a little more proficient at it. But yeah, that was the TRP brakes. I also installed the Ergon SME3 saddle and the XTR Derailluer this week. So part 4 of the build will be coming out soon. We'll get more of the drivetrain on, and hopefully the wheels will come in soon. But yeah, stay tuned and definitely subscribe so you can see the rest of this build. I'm going slowly, so we have 1 or 2 weeks until this bike is fully built and you'll see me riding it. So look forward to that, and I look forward to seeing you guys next video.